Welcome to Rom Wills, Money Matters. The key to living under your means. The key to living under your means. You know what? I had a young man ask me, I think he said he was making about $23 an hour. He wanted to know how to live under, under that means, like at 18 an hour. And it was a very simple answer. It was just like, well, just work like you living on 18 an hour. You know what? I'm going to tell you what. See, that's the key. No matter how much you making, there's no law that says you have to spend every penny of it. And through a combination of budgeting and just having a mindset, you can live a lot cheap. One of the things I do, now some of y'all seen my videos and everything. Some of y'all seen my videos. And I've said several times, I actually live modestly. I live modestly. And I did say I was going to move from my modest place, but even then, that's only because the amount of money I've been making has risen. Now, even though, and I don't have any problem saying this, and I'm not saying this to brag, but it's more like just to give you a perspective. This is my third straight year making six figures. But I don't live like I make six figures. In fact, if you saw my car, very modest. You saw where I live, very, very modest and everything. And quite frankly, I'd stay here, but I just need more space. That's one of my weaknesses is I like a lot of space. I'm that type who can live in a big old loft apartment or something and have very little in there. So I love space. So that's just an aside. But, one of the things is I live like I'm making considerably less. Okay. I would say I live like I'm making 50 to 60. Or actually, that's how much that's how much I spend per month. And that's including what I'm putting away for taxes and everything. Ram got serious savings. I just don't know. Save it up for something bigger. But one of the ways I do that is, one, I do behave as if I'm making a lot less. And even though I say I love making money, I do count my pennies. And even when I'm buying, people see me rocking like, the Lacoste and the polos and stuff. I don't get them full price. I always get them from outlets. And I will catch a sale. The only time I'll spend full price on anything is if I absolutely positively need it right then. Like when I went to Houston the other week, I had to get a new suitcase. There was a handle that broke on one of my carry-on bag. Well, not my carry-on bag, but my suit bag. I was like, oh man, I gotta get another one. And if I had time, trust me, I've been like bargain shopping for it. But the thing is, I don't live like I'm making six figures. I live like I'm blue collar and just not making that much. And even when like some of the expensive clothes I have, like I said, I got them at a discount, and that's more for business anyway. I could halfway write it off. Trust me, I should have looked into that too. But anyway, I could halfway write it off because I use it mainly for business. I wear it for other things. That's why I don't write it off. But, the thing is, most of the time, if you see me just out and about, it's very plain dressed, really. Very plain dressed. The bottom line is I'm living under my means. And see, that's the important thing. And then, like, the only time I might go beyond that is if, I had to get some new stuff, if I got to get some major furniture or something like that. Or, and even then, even with the credit and everything, I got a lot of credit, but I utilize less than 5% a month. Really, typically, less than 5%, except if I get a big purchase like a new couch. But the thing is, the key is don't act like you living under. Like I remember, first time I heard this was back in the 80s. Back when the Washington Commanders, don't get me started on that new name, were the Washington Redskins, and back when they had Doug Williams as the quarterback, and he'd just been the first black quarterback to win a Super Bowl. There was a newspaper article how he was kind of like an uncle to some of the younger players. And, he was telling one player who had an $80,000 contract, which back then People say 80,000, there's nothing, man. This is in the 80s now. He told the guy, hey, live like you won't making 40. And I always remember, I took that advice. I was like, no matter how much you make it, act like you living on less. Like when one of the things I do is when I get paid a payment from one of my income streams, there's several of them. I don't need them for everything. Because like just one of my income streams I can actually live on. The rest, I just put that right in my savings. I put that right in my savings and stuff. Savings and, set aside for tax. Well, actually, my set aside for tax come off of that 50 to 60 I'm living off. So, but that's the thing. You just got, it's very simple. You just don't act like you're making that money. See, sometimes people get a lot of money and it burns a hole in their pocket. Just because you're making it don't mean you need to spend it. It just means you have it, but you don't have to spend it on stuff. You know, how much, I mean, seriously, when we're talking about food and everything, and I was just talking about in the last podcast about making food at home. I mean, how many expensive places are you going to go? Seriously. I mean, how much money you actually going to spend just eating and everything and all this extra stuff? You know, or how many, if you don't need like expensive phone, don't do it. Now, I'll tell you, I got an expensive phone, but what do I use it for? Make the videos look good on my other channels. So it's like you can do it. Anybody can do it. And see, the beauty of it is now you getting that savings that you can use for other stuff. But if there's some cutback, you already there. Because you might, and say you want a job or something, you don't have a business, you got a job, and but you see something that's more perfect, more in line with it, but you might have to take a slight pay cut. You can already do it because you already been living below your means. So there's so much low. There's so much that you get out of it. And one of the key things is you'll find you have an abundance. You're not living paycheck to paycheck. One of the scariest things is when you have, and you B Money, Thorough Brother B Money mentioned that. You got people making sub-6 figures, but debt in 7 figures, which is crazy. Too many people, they got way more debt than they have assets. So, living under your means can get that under control, give you an abundance, and it gives you a sense of peace too, because at the end of the day, you got money if something pops up. It's a very important thing. There's something like going on family-wise that will take a lot of money. And I was just like, okay, I got it. See, that's the thing. So anyway, that's the key to living under your means. No matter what you're making, behave as if you're making less. All right? So y'all know the deal. Let's go make that money.